Arulmigu Kodidainayaki Udanurai Masilamaneeswarar Temple Thirumullaivoyal. In ancient times, the forest surrounding Thirumullaivoyal was ruled by two notorious tribesmen, Vanan and Vanan, from the Kurumba tribe. They are feudal lords of Thirumullaivoyal. King Thondaiman wanted to take the area under his control. All his attempts went futile, and finally he decided to defeat them in war. He set out for the war with all his infantry and cavalry, with elephants and chariots. En route to the war, they waded through a dense growth of mullai plants, jasmine climbers. The foot of the elephant on which he was mounted was entangled in the dense foliage. The king and his men, in an attempt to free the elephant from this mess, went on to cut the wild twines with their swords and daggers. Suddenly they noticed blood gushing out from the leaves and found a lingam bleeding. Shocked, the king was in great distress that he has committed a sin. Seeking mercy and forgiveness from Shiva, he prayed to him. Without any delay, Shiva and Parvati appeared before the king, lest he indulge in causing self-inflicted injury out of the grief. Shiva asked the king to build a temple for him right there and promised that he would reside there as Masilamaneeswarar. Shiva, who is as precious as a gem but without stains, Masa means dirty or stain caused by the profuse bleeding, Ila without money gem. It is believed that Shiva also promised to support him in destroying the Kurumbas by sending his holy steed, the Nandi bull. On his orders, the Nandi also gets ready to go and fight for the king. This is why the Nandi in this temple faces outwards, ready to leave for the battle on the orders of Shiva, whereas in all other Shiva temples, it faces inwards, facing the sanctum. The temple is incarnated by hymns of Devaram and is classified as Padal Petra Sthalam. The temple is incarnated by the hymns of Sundara, Ramalinga Swamigal, and Arulmighu. His consort Parvati is depicted as Pachaiamman. The presiding deity is revered in the 7th century Tamil Shaiva canonical work, the Devaram, written by Tamil saint poet known as the Nayanars and classified as Padal Petra Sthalam. The temple is believed to have been built by Cholas during 9th century and with significant additions from later Chola kings and by subsequent ruling empires. It houses 5-tiered gateway towers known as Gopurams. The temple has numerous shrines, with those of Masilamaneeswarar and Kodidainayaki being the most prominent. Temple is one of the Shakti triad in the region of Thondai Mandalam, the other two being Vadivadayamman temple at Thiruvattur and the Thiruvadayamman temple at Minjur. The goddess is called Kodidainayaki, she who has a waist as slender as the jasmine climber. She is considered to be a very powerful deity and is known to bestow her gracious blessings from newlyweds, unwed girls for speedy marriage and for happy married life. There is a scar on the lingam which is covered with sandalwood paste. There is a smaller lingam made of mercury on which ablution is performed. The Vinayaka in this temple is called Valampuri Vinayaka. The temple tank is located outside the temple premises. Unlike other temples, the image of Nandi bull faces the direction opposite to the sanctum. There are smaller shrines in the temple for Cholapurishwar and Kuchalapurishwar, who are believed to have been worshipped by Lava and Kusha, the sons of Rama. The positions of deity Shiva and Parvati, Kodidainayaki, is also found to be interchanged as against what is usually found in Shiva temples. It is believed to be so because Shiva and his consort were in a hurry to give darshana, holy appearance, to the king. With Shiva's blessings and Nandi's support, king did win over the battle and proceeded to his capital. As a memorial of the victory, he seized a very prized portion of the Kurumbas, 2 pillars made of the tree trunk of Vellarikku, white ground flower, Calotropis gigantea. These pillars can be seen even today, placed on both sides, decorating the sanctum sanctorum of the presiding deity. The temple has inscriptions from the period of Chola and Pandya, as per which it was located on the banks of a tributary of river Palar. The temple has inscriptions from the period of medieval Cholas and has received various architectural additions during their regime. An inscription from the period of Uttama Chola, 970 to 85, recorded as in 1994, dedicates that Sembian Mahadevi, the mother of Uttama, bought 9,200 kuli of land for 1880 kalanju of gold from the Mahasabha of Ambattur and made a gift to the temple. This is the northernmost of temples where Sembian Mahadevi donated for temple construction. There are also inscriptions from the regime of Parthivendravarman, a feudatory of Uttama Chola, which mentions the reconquest of the region lost to Rashtrakutas during the Battle of Takkolam, fought during 949. Another inscription recorded 617-678 of 1904 for the period of Rajendra I, 1012 to 1044 AD, records gifts to the temple. There are other inscriptions from subsequent Chola kings like Kolothunga III and Rajaraja III. There are inscriptions from Pandya king Jatavarman Sundara Pandyan I and from kings of Vijayanagara Empire like Harihara Raya II, Harihara Raya I and Mallikarjuna Raya. The large Nandi bull statue is believed to have been built to commemorate the victory of King Thondaiman over 2 demon brothers. Sree Swarna Venkatesa Perumal Thirumullaivoyal. This temple we can see after coming out of Sree Masilamaneeswarar temple in Thirumullaivoyal. A small temple. The butler did Arati for Sree Venkatesa Perumal, who appears along with consort Sree Devi and Devi. All the vigrahams were beautifully decorated with the golden kavasam, and true to his name, Swarna Venkatesa Perumal, it stands with a beautiful glory. Arulmigu Pachaiamman Temple, Thirumullaivoyal. This temple looks like a replica of the Pachaiamman temple found in Pavalakundur, Tiruvannamalai. The Tiruvannamalai Pachaiamman temple is situated at the foot of Arunachala hill. It has deep historical roots dating back to the Chola period, though the current structure is approximately 120 years old. The lord here is called Sri Mannarsami. Whereas the Thirumullaivoyal Pachaiamman temple is located on the outskirts of Chennai and is also roughly 120 years old, but in a lush green area that historically matched the spiritual atmosphere of Tiruvannamalai side. The lord here is called as Sree Mannadeeshwarar. Many a century before, Lord Shiva and Parvati lived in Kailash. Shiva, being the ruler of the world, always spent his time watching and guarding the world and the people. Parvati was very upset as Lord Shiva never spent time with her, so she playfully blindfolded the eyes of Lord Shiva, unaware of the consequences it may lead. The very next moment, the whole world ceased and revolving and was encircled by darkness. Nothing on the earth moved and all were frozen and dead. The rishis and saints of heaven were stunned to see what had happened, so they hurried to the court of Lord Shiva. Suddenly, Lord Shiva opened his third eye in the forehead, called as Netrikan, and spread the light with the heat on the earth and brought the dead world to life. Even though Parvati blindfolded his eyes playfully, Lord Shiva was displeased and sentenced her to take a human form and to do penance until his anger subsides. Goddess Parvati pleaded Shiva to forgive her, but once said can't be modified. So Shiva consoled her, saying that during her endeavors in the earth, she would be praised and will gain fame wherever she goes. Later, Parvati came to earth and went to Kasi, the most sacred place. She went along the trails of Shiva temples. She visited Kanchi and did penance under a mango tree to please Lord Shiva. Later, she went to Tiruvannamalai. On her way to the temple, she took rest at Thirumullaivoyal and made this place very sacred. After taking rest in this place, she made atonement by standing on a needle at Sengoku. On her stay at Thirumullaivoyal, 7 rishis, Sapta Munivargal, and 7 damsels, Sapta Kannigal, accompanied her and guarded her. Hence, their statues are installed in the temple. Once her sentence period was over, Lord Shiva accepted Parvati as his own other half, known as Ardhanarishwara, half Shivan and half Shakti. The reason behind the name Pachaiamman. Pachai means green, which signifies that the goddess is green. There are few legends of this name. One of the folklores is that a few centuries back, Gautama Maharishi performed a yaga to invite goddess Shakti. For this, he had created a holy seat, Pranasala, with darbar grass, a yellow-green grass used for auspicious pujas. When goddess Shakti sat on this holy seat, the yellow grass transformed to lush green color, and thus the goddess was named as Pachaiamman. Yet another story states that while the pursuit of goddess Parvati for enlightenment, she used to take rest on the deep green banana leaves and was fond of greeneries, so she was named as Pachaiamman. During Sri Ramana Maharishi's stay at Pachaiamman temple in Tiruvannamalai, he gave the reason for goddess name. According to him, when the goddess Parvati did austerities to Gautama Ashram, her body color changed to emerald green due to the power emitted during her penance, and after this, she went around the temple performing austerities at many places and finally confluence with Lord Shiva. Hence, she got the name Pachaiamman. Folklore of 7 damsels and rishis. Legend is that when goddess Parvati did penance at Thirumullaivoyal, due to her enormous energy, the clouds started to group together above the village and engulfed the village in darkness. Seeing this, the king of this village was furious and hence sent his brothers to stop Parvati from performing penance and throw her out of this village. His brothers returned to him and described how beautiful Parvati was. This urged the king to marry her, so he went on to the forest himself and compelled Parvati to marry him. Parvati got furious by his behavior and took the form of Kali. Along with the help of 7 damsels and 7 rishis, she killed the king. This is why the statues of these damsels and rishis are found inside the temple. Pachaiamman temple in Thirumullaivoyal is truly a gem, carrying a charm of decades of history and devotion. The moment you step inside, you can feel the powerful spiritual energy and the deep-rooted traditions that have been preserved here. The deity Pachaiamman radiates a divine presence, offering a sense of peace and protection to every devotee who visits. The temple architecture, though simple, speaks of an era where devotion mattered more than grandeur, and that authenticity shines through even today. It's a wonderful place to experience a slice of Chennai's religious and cultural heritage. About 120 years back, this temple was built and recently it is modified. The outer premises of the temple is adorned with 14 statues of guardian angels. Even the animals which had helped goddess Pachaiamman were revered in this temple. There are effigies of an elephant, 5 horses and a dog. It is a wide belief that even today these animals are the watching guardians of Pachaiamman. Sree Vaishnavi Devi Temple, Thirumullaivoyal. This is considered to be the 51st Sakti Pidam. The numeral 51 means Ambatti Ondru in Tamil and hence the place Ambattur. Sree Vaishnavi Devi is worshipped both as Vaishnav Devi as in the north and as goddess Valli, wife of Lord Muruga, similar to the idol in Vallimalai. Sri Sachidananda Swamigal, popularly known as Vallimalai Swamigal, had consecrated the idol as goddess Valli. This temple had been maintained by Sri Sadhu Parthasarathi Swamigal. The temple has a very pleasing and serene ambience. It was founded by Swami Anvananda or Sri Sadhu Parsabi in 1954. There is also an ashram in the campus for sadhaka members devoted to Sri Vaishnavi Devi and visiting sannyasis. Sri Vaishnavi Devi is worshipped at this temple by large number of devotees from all over the country and abroad and experience ecstasy and bliss apart from immense peace. Sri Swami Anvananda, also known as Sri Sadhu Parsaradhi, revered Pujya Papadi Sri S. Parsaradhi, was the son of the illustrious Sri S. Srinivasa, one of the very early presidents of the Indian National Congress, perhaps the first Indian Advocate General of the composite Madras state, and Srimati Ranganayaki. He was born on 9th April 1901. Sri Parsaradhi was the brother of Padma Shri, late S. Ambujam Ammal, and founder of Sri Srinivasa Gandhi Nilayam and an ardent follower of Mahatma Gandhiji. As one of the leading members of the Madras Bar Association, Sri Parsaradhi is associated with various industrial and financial institutions of both Madras and to the then Travancore states. He had the distinction of leading the Industrial Development Commission set up by the then Madras state after President's independence. As the founder and managing director, with late Sri N. Gopalswamy as chairman, he established the Prithvi Insurance Company, later amalgamating few insurance companies of both Madras and then Mysore state, and later merged with the Nationalized Life Insurance and General Insurance Corporations. With the arrival of Sri Devi idol, he gradually withdrew from all material activities, devoted himself for the worship of Devi, emulating Bhakti cult of spiritualism. With the rituals of her bidding, became Sadhu Parsaradhi and then took sannyas as Swami Anvananda. With his immense accomplishments and wealth, he renounced everything in service of Devi and constructed the temple and ashram 50 years ago for the benefit of the public and sadhakas and saints. Sri Sachidananda Swamigal, known popularly as Sri Vallimalai Swamigal, an ardent devotee of Lord Sri Muruga, named the Devi as Sri Vaishnavi as it resembles Sri Vaishnavi Devi temple in the north near Rishikesh, an incarnation of Goddess Durga, Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati. Later, Sri Vallimalai Swamigal consecrated the idol as Pongi, Goddess Valli, consort of Lord Muruga, residing at Vallimalai. Abhisheka was performed with sacred water brought down from the hills of Vallimalai, and devotees started reciting Thirupugal sacred hymns on Lord Sri Muruga on the day before Diwali. This tradition continues even today. The temple is under renovation now. Sri Anandha Venkatesha Perumal Temple, Ayapakkam. Located in the TNBG colony of Ayapakkam, Chennai, is a relatively modern Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu. The temple is dedicated to Lord Venkateswara or Anandha Venkatesha Perumal. Thayar Padmavati. Perumal is in standing in a majestic form, adorned with sparkling jewels and floral garlands. There are separate shrines for Sri Annamaliyar and for Sri Unnamalayamman. Other Sannadhis include Ayyappan, Anjaneyar, Bhairavar and the Navagrahams. Sri Santhana Srinivasa Perumal Temple, Mogappair, Chennai. Moolavar Sri Santhana Srinivasa Perumal and Thayar Sri Santhana Lakshmi. Around 650 years ago, Sri Arunachal Mudaliar was informed about the existence of an idol Vigraham of Santhana Srinivasa Perumal by Lord Vishnu himself in his dream in Mogappair. Sri Arunachal Mudaliar started the construction of the temple, and today it's a spacious temple near the heart of the city. There is a 7-tier Rajagopuram as we enter the temple, Santhana Srinivasa Sannadhi, Santhana Lakshmi Sannadhi and Andal Sannadhi. There is also Sannadhi for Ganapati and Anjaneyar. The place was originally known as Mogappair in Tamil, which means blessed with the child. Later the name Mogappair got colloquially transformed to Mogappair. The name is due to Santhana Srinivasa Perumal, whose Vigraham was found beneath the temple premises in Mogappair in Chennai. Santhana Srinivasa blesses childless couple with children. Even though the present temple was built in the 19th century, the original temple has a long history. As per legend, this temple's moreover was part of Sri Marghazhi Shiva temple, and Tayar is retained in the Shiva temple itself as Mahalakshmi. The temple faces east with the 5-tier Rajagopuram. Dwajastambam, Balipidam and Garudan are immediately after the entrance to the Rajagopuram. Stone and stucco Dwarapalakars are at the entrance of the Ardhamandapam and Sanctum Sanctorum. Moreover is about 7 feet tall, similar to Tirupati. Alvars are in the Mahabandapam. There are no images in the Kostas. In Praharam, Sarvashakti Vinayagar, Anjaneyar, Tayar, Santhana Lakshmi, Andal, Ayappan and Navagrahas are found. It was told that, or it may not be correct, the Adhishtanam, the Bitti, wall stones, Vijayanagara period structures used for this temple belonged to Sri Markandesha temple during the construction of this Sri Santhana Srinivasa Perumal temple. Sri Markandesha temple was in dilapidated condition. Shiva temple was constructed later with bricks in 1996. The Santhana Srinivasa Perumal, who was thrown into the lake during Nawab's invasion, came in the dream of Arunachal Mitra to identify his whereabouts. The idol was recovered from nearby area or the lake. Even though the Moolar belongs to the Pallava period, the present structure belongs to Vijayanagara period. During the 19th century, this temple Tirupani was started by Arunachal Mitra on his own land, and then his descendants continued and completed it to the present stage. In 1981, the Moolar terrace was covered. Parivara deities Annadis were completed. Mahasamprokshana conducted by Saranga Mudaliyar and M.S. Ramachandra Mudaliyar, the descendants of Arunachal Mudaliyar, in 1982. Again, the Tirupani was started in 1992 and took around 17 years and was completed through the Sri Santhana Srinivasa Perumal Charitable Trust. On September 1997, Sannidhi Vimanam was constructed and Mahasamprokshana was conducted. Later, after completion of Parivara deities, Sannidhis and Mahasamprokshana conducted in June 2005. Lastly, the 5-tier Rajagopuram was constructed and Mahasamprokshana was done in 2009 June. As per the legend, during the Pallava king Mallinada's period, this place was called Mogappair. There is a hearsay story behind that. The king didn't have a child, so he prayed to Shiva and Ambal of Sri Markandeshwar temple. Due to the grace of Shiva, he got a child, and from then onwards, this place was called Mogappair, which was corrupted to Mogappair. This was called Santhana Mangalam in Sanskrit. Devotees pray to Sri Santhana Srinivasa Perumal for a child boon. A special puja called Santhana Gopala Puja is conducted on Paurnami days with Nakshatras Thiruvonam, Punarpusam, Swati, Rohini and Revati between morning 6 to 12 noon. The couples will keep Santhana Gopala Vigraha on their lap and offer tambulam, honey and butter. They also ask to chant the mantra requesting Santhana Srinivasa Perumal to give a child like Gopala after praising him. Devaki Sudha Govinda Vasudeva Jagatpade Dehime Tanayam Krishna Twamaham Sharanam Gatate Devadeva Jagannatha Gotra Vriddhi Karaprabho Dehim Tanayam Shigram Ayushmantam Yashasrinam. The butter and honey are given back to the couples as prasad, and the above mantra has to be recited 48 days after prayer in their homes.